Blue Dog Films presents Paid to Dream with Charles Dennis.
That woman made my life a living hell, Gerald. She's Lucretia Borgia, Catherine the Great, Lizzie Borden, all rolled into one. Doing metal sculpture at all hours with a acetylene torch. Going on pub crawls till dawn. Entertaining gauchos from the Argentine, who she supposedly met at the Harrods White Sale. Thank God I have you now, Gerald. You don't mind bringing me my slippers, going on walks with me, listening to my most intimate secrets.
And we're on, ladies and gentlemen, we are on. It's time for Paid to Dream. It's a lovely Saturday morning, and my guest, the man over there, depending on where you're sitting, is Neil Dickson, the first Blue Dog Films star, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
This is the man who launched it all, Clive Atwell.
Yes, Clive Atwell. Happy memories, Charles. Very happy memories.
That was an extraordinary thing. You know, I had purchased the iPad, I think that year. I did a little experimental thing in Canada with my daughter and Dan Aykroyd, and then I thought, you know, I'm going to make a short film. And we came up with this concept of this guy, Atwell. Yeah. And look what happened. I mean, it went on. He had a streaming TV service. He had a feature film. People won awards, I believe, for Barking Mad. So there you go.
I think they did.
Careful it doesn't blow up on you.
They said you were dead.
You don't seem surprised.
But then those who are dead never know they are dead already.
Well, that's a bit harsh.
What do you want? Hugs and kisses? After what you did to my niece?
I love Saskia.
Lies. Lies. Made a postman out of her for delivering your filthy messages back and forth.
What about the bombs you made, Manfred? How many people did you kill? I married Saskia. I got her out of East Berlin.
And abandoned her.
Somewhere in Buffalo, upstate New York or somewhere.
Well, that was the first year. That was the Samuel Fuller Guerrilla Filmmaker Award for that. And
yes.
It was only 7 minutes long. We packed in so much action into those 7 minutes.
How long do you think you've stayed?
Don't know. Maybe a year.
Are you joking?
Would that be a problem?
No one stays longer than a fortnight.
A fortnight?
2
weeks. My mother was English, I think. She was always a little vague about that.
Quite the man of mystery, aren't you, Mr. Cobbold? Total privacy, your own separate entrance. It's quite unique, really.
I was taught unique couldn't have an adjective. Shame on you, teacher.
Been in America far too long. Do you like the wainscoting? Who are you?
Who are you? Maybe we should just cut to the crap, Atwell.
Halliwell. The name's Jason Halliwell.
Right. Mind if I stand up?
Slowly. It was extraordinary, Charles. It was extraordinary. But he was very much a sort of anti-hero. I mean, he was a guy who I thought of very Le Carre-ish. You know what I mean?
Well, my thing was John Le Carre meets Raymond Chandler. You know, there was our Brit loose in L.A.
Absolutely, and loose he was. So, how the devil are you doing, mate? Are you good?
I'm doing fine. This is, I think, episode 18 of Paid to Dream. I'm very excited, and I just spoke with Drew Bell, who's on his way to China to go and hustle his movies. And he said, well, when can I see it? I said, it's up, it's there, you know. So we have to work on promoting this, you know, telling people if they like this, I hope you do, and I hope you like him. You know, just press like when you watch this. Tell your
Right.
friends.
I will tell everyone.
Absolutely.
I'll Instagram it like.
When did you first appear on stage?
I first appeared on stage in, God, giving away my age now. I first appeared on stage in 1970, professionally. You mean being paid?
No, no, I'm curious. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
no, 1973, August, the White Rose Theatre, Harrogate. And it was the Alan Ayckbourn play Time and Time Again. And I did that play, then I'd already committed to 6 months in a weekly repertory company in Chelmsford in Essex, good old Chelmsford. And you know, I still get letters from, or emails these days, from people who came to see that season of plays in Chelmsford. It was extraordinary. Every week we did a different play. I don't think it even exists anymore. It was
Well,
one of
it
the
was like
last
when
of the weekly reps.
when I was 16 and worked in summer stock at the Red Barn Theatre, Jackson's Point, Ontario, we did a different play every week for 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's a fantastic training.
Sunday
for an
was
act.
always the crazy day because Saturday night you struck the set and put up the set for
Yeah.
the next show, but on Sunday morning you started rehearsal for play number 3. So within
Yes.
24 hours you were doing 3 different plays.
Yeah, and in the
And that
you
was the same
rehearsed.
thing with rep.
You rehearsed in the mornings, and then in the afternoon, we had to go and do our assistant stage manager jobs, which was going to scrounge furniture from all the shops in town.
Oh, God,
All right,
yeah.
the designer said, we want a sofa, a white sofa. So you'd go to these furniture shops and say, listen, we can give you 3 tickets for the show if we can borrow that big white sofa over there. And in one particular case, it was a white sofa, and the play was set in the south of France. And the designer insisted we were all running on and off in swimming trunks, and we had to be tanned. So we all got this tanned makeup. And of course, by the end of the week, the white sofa was just brown with makeup that wouldn't come off, and they wouldn't take it back. But for an actor, it was a fantastic training. But the danger was that you just cut corners. You would, you learnt how to learn lines. And in weekly rep, it was very much by your moves. So we did a move, right, cross stage right. That's where I say ba 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 ba. And we were playing leads and everything. Even I was the goose in Mother Goose. It was a truly hatching experience because I had to lay the golden egg. Yeah, go on.
Any other
Terrible.
members of that company who went on to have successful careers, or did they all become?
Out of that
Stable.
company?
Yeah.
Well, I do remember in the year below me at drama school was Guildhall. So I left Guildhall and went straight into this repertory system. Was Alfred Molina, and Fred, kindness of his heart, in his final year, he came out to see us all, or to see me, and Jeff Freshwater, the great Jeff Freshwater, who became a staple of the Royal Shakespeare Company. Jeff and I were at drama school together at Guildhall, and then we both got into this Chelmsford Civic Theatre together. And Fred came out to watch us, and very supportive, because it was a train journey. It was a train journey to Chelmsford. It
And
wasn't
he
the
was
end
a
of-
year behind you.
Pardon?
Molina was a year behind you.
Yeah, I think it was the year or 2 years behind. I mean, I think he was probably 2 years behind, because if he was a year behind, he wouldn't, at that point, have been quite so keen. He'd probably have known more about what weekly rep was and how ghastly these plays were. I think he came to see an Agatha Christie, and we did one play by a man called Roy Plumley, who was the creator of Desert Island Discs. And there was a lot of hoo-ha when Roy Plumley came out to see it. Also, we had a week of Sooty, and I was Sooty's. I was the stage manager for Sooty's show. And that was extraordinary.
You've drawn a
Sooty
blank.
and Sweep, yeah. At the end of it, Harry Corbett said, "I'm going to really take care of you, Neil. I'm really going to take care of you at the end of this week. You've been fantastic." And I was thinking, oh my God, my £18 a week pay packet is going to bulge. And at the end of the week, he came up with an envelope, big envelope, and he said, "Listen, a little by way of thank you for all your hard work with Sooty this last week." And I opened it up. Once he'd gone, I opened it up, and inside was a 10 by 8 photograph of him. He and Sooty signed. So,
Thanks, Harry. Harry J. Corbett?
Yeah, Harry Corbett, yeah. Sooty was nice, and Sweet was, not so clever. Sorry. Madness. That was the first job, Charles. Yeah.
And as a kid, as a child, when did you perform?
Yeah, I did. I mean, at school we did Midsummer Night's Dream, which was greatly enjoyable. And I suppose that's where I first got my taste for it. And then...
And who did you play?
I played bottom, appropriately so. And then what happened then? We did another play. We did Journey's End, and I was Raleigh, which is very nice. And that was all at school. And then
where did you do that Noel Coward one-act play that I've always thought was a riot, and it's never done anywhere? It's part of the Tonight at 8:30 ones. It's all about a cocktail party and people drifting in and out. What the hell? Hands Across the Sea?
That was at drama school.
And was it called Hands Across the Sea?
I think, a family album was the whole thing, I think. And we did that at drama school. Tonight at 8:30 was the whole
Tonight
thing.
Tonight at 8:30 is the umbrella title for all of one act.
Yeah.
But there's one that's, I think it's sort of based on the Mountbattens or something. And it's this.
Yes, Hands Across the Sea was one. And then we did...
And you're the only person I know who's ever been in it. So I was very impressed.
Family album of the three was the one I remember particularly. But, the theatre, it just doesn't... You can't do it like that now in England, because in Great Britain, because, unfortunately, a lot of those theatres got closed down. And God knows...
COVID or just economy?
Well, the economy, I mean, back in the early 80s, Margaret Thatcher took away the subsidies for these theatres. So they suddenly had to find, private sponsorship. And instead of having, each theatre would have a government grant. You'd get so much money, and then they could do 6 plays in the season, and either there'd always be a Shakespeare, there'd usually be a Chekhov. And suddenly there was no money, and they had to find local sponsorship, of which they had some anyway. But it meant that the season of plays got cut down from, 6 to 1 at a time. No, they had to cast 1 play at a time. And they all went to smaller budget plays.
Gone?
Pardon?
Do you know, has Hornchurch Rep disappeared?
Hornchurch, at Hornchurch, I did the Boyfriend. I hope not, because it was fabulous theatre.
I met it when I first lived in London, and I met a girl, and she was appearing there, and I said, "Oh, I'll come and see you." And it was the end of a tube line, I think. Hornchurch was the last stop, maybe on the Central line. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was. No, last stop on the District line, I seem to remember.
Okay.
And I was living in Chiswick, and it was literally, hour and a half to get there.
Yeah, that's far.
Right, from one end to the other. But that was a lovely theatre, actually, a lovely theatre. Yeah. And in that company, there was a wonderful actor called Peter White, who was in the cast, who's done very good British character actor, exceptional, and it was a good time. I loved all those days in rep. You didn't earn much money, but the camaraderie, the just the number of volume of plays you did over a period of
that was your training.
It was 7-8 years solid for me.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to drama school all you want, but until you got thrown in there and just doing those.
You learn more in the first 6 months of working professionally
Yeah.
than you do in 3 years at drama school. You know, it's just, it's the real deal. You know, it's nice to learn how to, you know, walk on stage, but all that doesn't seem to matter now. I mean, voice projection, everybody's mic these days.
I know. It's don't get me started.
Yeah.
So, what was your first screen appearance?
I, Claudius. Oh, no, no.
Oh, you were in I, Claudius?
I was in I, Claudius, but before I, Claudius, when I was doing a season in rep at Manchester Library Theatre, and the Granada Television had a show called Crown Court, and they would come to the theatre and, you know, pull out an actor to be the jury foreman, because the jury foreman had to speak. The jury were made up of members of the public who came and, you know, who wrote in and said, I'd like to be a member of the jury on Crown Court. Professional actors, and then the jury was made up of the public. And so what happened was that I was the jury foreman one week. And we did the episode, and I got paid, you know. I got paid more than my whole 2 weeks of drama school. I got paid more just for saying either guilty or not guilty. And when we all sat there, I sat there and with the other people who'd come up. One guy had come from London to be on the jury, another had come from, you know, Bournemouth. And they'd come from all over the country. It was kind of, people wanted to be part of this jury thing. And at the end, the Granada assistant, when the deliberations had finished, the assistant Granada person came up to me and said, okay, the judge says adjourn to a room, select a jury foreman, and reach a decision. So the assistant at Granada comes up to me, the stage manager and assistant, and she says, Neil, okay, you're going to go into that room there, try to make it quick because the actors want to get the next train back to London. You know, there's a train at 5. Please don't let anybody, you know, just get it through. So we sat down in the jury room and she said, you sit there at the top of the table. So I sat down at the top of the table, and this guy suddenly, you know, says, hey, what are you doing there? And I said, I'm going to be the jury foreman. He said, oh, no, you're not. The judge said we got to elect one. He said, I've come all the way down from the South Coast. He said, we've got to do this properly. She said to elect one. And I thought, what that? And then the PA stepped in and she said, actually, Mr. Dickson has to be the jury foreman because we have to have a jury foreman who is a member of the British Actors Equity. And he said, well, bugger that. He said, if I'd known, I'd have joined this British Equity on the way through London. It was just... Anyway, the actors got their last train home and I went back to the theatre to do... What were we doing? I think it was the Christmas show. Brer Rabbit, probably. Yeah.
Well, you came into my life when Ian McShane brought you to my house.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah.
We've stayed the distance. I don't know about that guy McShane. I gather he still works. But
no, Ian does. I haven't seen him for years, but yeah, he still works.
But
fabulous actor. And I met him in Africa.
And you met each other on AD, Anno
Anno
Domini.
Domini. Correct.
And that was
correct.
your big break as far as television is concerned, correct?
Yes.
And how did you get that?
I was doing a show in London called Trafford Tansy, which opened up in America later as New York as Teaneck Tansy, and in California as in LA as Tarzana Tansy. But it was a show that was developed out of Liverpool, the Liverpool Everyman Theatre. And it came to London, and we had a rotating cast, 2 casts, because it was brutal. Trafford Tansy was about very much a feminist play about a girl who's pushed down all her life by her parents and her family, and she, you know, works in a fish and chip shop, and in one day comes this guy called Dean Rebel, and he woos her and he turns out to be a horrible person eventually. He's the British middleweight wrestling champion, and yeah, this was me. And the whole play is set in a wrestling ring, and we do lots of, every move is kind of a wrestling move, and each round is a scene. And there are songs. It's punctuated. Each round is punctuated by a song, a pastiche of a country and western, a pastiche of something, you know, whatever. And so I was playing this character of Dean Rebel. When we were trained by the British middleweight wrestling champion, the real deal, Brian Goldbelt Maxine. And anyway, in it, I become the European champion, and then I start being brutal with her, and she thinks, enough of this, I'm going to become a wrestler. So she becomes a wrestler, and the finale of the play is a wrestling match between a man and a woman. And it's a good 10-minute wrestling scene, all choreographed, but, you know, I mean, real deal, diving off the ropes and all that. There's in no way I could ever do it now. But, you know, when one was in mid-20s.
Was this filmed ever?
No.
Is there any footage of this?
No, I got some stills, but so one night, I was with ICM, the agency, at the time, and they'd had an interview for me at I remember at the Grosvenor House Hotel, for this Project AD, a 12-hour miniseries, American NBC thing, and I went there, and I was feeling very cocky because I was starring in a hit show. And I told them all, you come and see the show. Come and see the show. And they came to see the show, and then next thing I'm screen tested, and then the next thing I'm off to Africa for 9 months, basically. North Africa, Tunisia. It was fantastic. It was like doing...
With an astonishing cast.
Pardon?
An astonishing cast.
Oh, yes. James Mason, Ava Gardner, Susan Sarandon, Ian McShane. God, it goes on.
Colleen Dewhurst in it?
Colleen Dewhurst. Oh, my God, Colleen Dewhurst. So fantastic to act with. Yeah. Just to act opposite her was extraordinary. Jennifer O'Neill, Richard Kiley, you know, who started the, one of the founders of the Actors Studio, I think. No, you know, Richard Kiley, and was heavily involved in.
Well, Richard Kiley, but I didn't realize, you know, he created the role of Don Quixote in Man of La Mancha.
Yeah.
But this was not his first musical. He was also one of the original stars of Kismet. I mean, he was a great musical star, and people don't realize it. They just think it was a straight actor, but he had two very
no. He was amazing. Dennis Quilley was in it. I mean, it was a huge, amazing cast. John McKenna.
And it was the story of the two slaves. You were the one slave, and who was the other slave?
No, basically, it's picked up where Zeffirelli's Jesus of Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, finished. The script was written by Anthony Burgess, and the producer Vincenzo Labella, who had produced Jesus of Nazareth with Zeffirelli. And basically it starts after the crucifixion, and then spans about 50 years. And so there's four central, what I used to call the soap opera characters, who go through, young at the beginning, and a Roman man, a Roman woman, a Jewish girl, and a Jewish man, and their stories collide, and it becomes, the Roman man who's a soldier falls in love with a Jewish slave and sets out to free her, and the Roman girl falls in love with the Jewish man who becomes a gladiator.
Wow.
And
any particular memories of James Mason?
Oh, yes. The first time I met, God, I've got a scene today with James Mason. Oh, my God. I can't believe this. It's going to be extraordinary. And I was walking across. We were filming in this set overlooking the ocean, and they built the whole Roman Forum around there. And the scene was at his Tiberius's palace, and I was walking to the set, and I passed his trailer. And as I passed it, he came out and he said, I said, hello, Neil Dickson. And he said, James Mason, the Mason-Dixon line. And it was so sweet. I mean, he was, terrific. Now, I think that was the last but one film he ever did. I think he went back and did one other film.
I think for Michael Lindsay Hogg, he did a Graham Greene.
Was it The Hunting Party? He did The Hunting Party after.
TV, so maybe he had two more. And
this
led to Biggles, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Then Biggles came along, and that was, a crazy ride. And that then took it to another level, and it's been downhill since then.
I don't know. I mean, you are the dean of Foo Dog Films actors. I mean, we took Clive Atwell and did that terrific movie, Barking Mad. Then we did that short. We had done that play at the Actors Studio, and we took two of the characters and did a short film. You and Carolyn Seymour.
Yeah.
The Favor of Your Company, which was
very good,
a lot of fun. And then Chicanery. You were the disgraced knight who was trying to. Oh God, that scene! I remember you and Robin Dearden, Cranston's wife. Where she was falling all over you.
What's the matter, Sir Gareth?
It's just plain Gary now. They stripped me of my knighthood.
I know. I read it in Vanity Fair.
None of it's true, Diana. Not a word.
I didn't believe it.
Oh, bless you. It's been so damnably hard. Bloody left-wing liberal press are hounding me because I'm successful.
It's the same way here. The liberals, the abortionists, the illegal aliens.
Bring back flogging, that's what I say.
Reform the Reds with a rope.
Oh, Diana. What a joy to have found such a kindred spirit in the midst of my exile. You were always very kind to me, Diana.
You were my first knight.
Oh, God.
You did some wonderful stuff for me.
Yeah. No, I would say, Charles, that Foo Dog Films resurrected my career.
Well, I'm all for resurrection when it happens. And of course, nom de plume, you were the head of security with the eye patch. I loved it.
Yes. Is the final head count in for the reception?
You'll have to speak to my wife, Major. She runs the show.
I'm a plain-spoken man, Consul Withstrand. Don't beat around the bush. Never have, never will.
Bush is not moving.
Ivan.
I don't know any Ivan.
Putin's boys. It's no secret they've been after Sweden for years. They might try to use tomorrow evening's reception as a preview of their next Ukraine.
Have you discussed this with my wife?
Not extensively.
Well, maybe you don't appreciate stabs.
All great fun. And hopefully, God willing, if I get this play written and we get accepted, we go off to Edinburgh, you and I.
Yeah.
For me, it's the first time in 30 years since I did Going On. And apparently you were 10 years old the last time you went to Edinburgh.
Yeah, I was, in a kilt. We went up, my family, we went up for a wedding. I don't even know who was getting married, but I think I was a a page or something at the wedding. I remember. It's funny, you often wonder, we went, and I imagine we flew up, but I don't know if we did fly, because I keep remembering sitting on sofas on a plane, but that wouldn't have happened. It must, how in childhood you imagine things, but I think we probably went up on the old, Royal Scotsman train.
Well, that's how I went, I think, from King's Cross. And it's a wonderful, wonderful ride. It's about 5 hours from London
Flying
to
Scotsman.
Edinburgh. The Flying Scotsman, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
39 steps,
Yeah. So it's good, and life goes on. How long is it since I was last on stage? Probably, about good 6-7 years ago. So I'm looking forward to doing this play up in Edinburgh.
Is it the last time you did the Standard
Bearer? Yeah.
Which you have done all over the place.
Yeah.
You did do it in London at a pop-up theatre, didn't you?
In London, Luxembourg, at the grandly titled National Theatre of Luxembourg. It was, in fact, just seemed to be a black box. But and then Canada, we toured Canada, your native country. We toured the islands of Vancouver.
Chris Humphreys.
Chris Humphreys, yeah.
Another graduate of AD.
And Chris, another that's where we met on AD, and he's become a massively successful author now. He's written something like 20 novels.
I know he's passed me, I think, in the number of books, and I'm just
yeah. But we had a great time up there. We rented. I think donated an electric car, and it was rolling off ferries onto an island. And then they had the little town hall, or some islands had fantastic state-of-the-art theatres. Others were just the village hall, where you'd roll up and it had been there since 1870 or something. And we'd set up our two pieces and get on with it. And what was great about that was that it literally did go back. It was like going right back to the beginning again. Touring in a van, happy days. But yeah, that was fun with Chris. And I just finished a little film before Christmas, a little indie film called Better Than a Shovel. And it's basically very briefly, about a young boy who discovers he's a cannibal, and the mafia hear about him, and they think, "Ooh, good way to dispose of bodies." And it's a dark comedy, by the way. And
where did you shoot it? Here in town?
Yeah. And I play his psychiatrist, who was also narrator of the whole film, and I taught the audience through it and everything. Yeah, it's I think it's going to be really good myself. Yeah.
But you're also you've now taken on a new identity. The mantle of Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee seems to have fallen to you with your entrance into horror films.
Yes, yeah. I did this film in Belgrade about 2 years ago, called The Quantum Devil, and that was a lot of fun. We'd come out of COVID, and everybody was very relaxed and released, and Belgrade's a great city, and the script, it was a psychological horror sci-fi film, I would say. It's set in the future. It's out there. I think you can get it on Amazon Prime, but it's interesting. It was great fun.
The movie is out there, and you're out there, which is more important.
Yes,
and it's
Charles,
been an absolute joy. As I told you, it flies by. This show. Suddenly, it's over.
Oh, what about part two?
Well, there will be absolutely part two, you know. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, if you've come in late, Neil Dickson has been here telling us tales of his life and his work. And thank you, Neil. Thank you all. If you like this, please click like, tell friends, subscribe. Paid to Dream. We'll be back very soon.
Bye-bye.
Foo Dog Films presents Paid to Dream with Charles Dennis.